Here we go, man. We got OG Baby Cash, man, on Say Cheese for an exclusive interview, man. How you doing?
All right, man. I'm doing good. How about yourself, man?
I'm doing good, man. About time, man. A lot of people been wanting to get you on here. You know, Charleston says a lot about you. OG
Yeah.
Sane, you know, co-signed you heavy.
Yeah.
Man, you have a really unique story.
Yes, sir.
Man, let's start with the beginning, man. Where you from?
Man, I'm from Dallas, Texas. South Dallas. You know, I live mostly in South Dallas and North Dallas most of my, young life, man.
Okay. And what was that like growing up?
Man, I came from a, two-parent home, man, and my old man, he had disabilities, and I think that kind of channeled, a lot of my negativity, in the wrong way, man. So, just growing up with that, I ain't gonna say that we had a broken home, but I'm gonna just say, my mama juggled, virus odd job, while my father, he couldn't really do a lot of things that a lot of other fathers done, man. So I think witnessing my father's struggles kind of fueled a sense of resentment in me, you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't really understand, why he couldn't enjoy the same freedom as other fathers did, So this right here, ignited a fierce determination within me, to overcome, most obstacles, man. And, despite them challenges, I've always been a natural leader and, possess different qualities from a lot of people because I've seen things in a different way, viewing it from my father's perspective, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that kind of pushed me out there, and had I went another way, I think I know I would have excelled in any other thing that I would have, chosen, but it just so happened that my environment just trapped me, in the world of gangsterism, man, just coming from a family of that as well,
Right. What was Dallas like in the 90s?
Man, in the 90s, man, before I got locked up, it was really the killing season, man. A lot of young cats were trying to get a name for themselves. A lot of people, the dope, had already hit, and everybody was trying to find a rhythm in life, you know what I'm saying? So it was really, it was dangerous, man, because everybody was trying to, make a name, and everybody was trying to, take what you couldn't hold, as a man, you know what I'm saying? So, a lot of dangerous happenings was going on, during that time right there, man. The gangs had, started coming out a little more, and people just had, just kind of was trying to find their way in life, and when a lot of chaos, in the atmosphere, man, it's a chaotic situation. So that's pretty much what the early 90s was like when I left the world. Yeah.
Because, Fort Worth has a rich history of gang violence, and, was Dallas like that? Or was Fort Worth first?
No, it was, man, I can say this, Earl, for the record, Fort Worth, this older cat brought a lot of dudes down from California, round by the same time. The gangs hit Dallas. They came down round by the same time, 87, 88, 89, like that, you know what I'm saying? But they hadn't yet, just opened it up yet. And Dallas was still going through the same, phases as well, trying to open up, you know what I'm saying? So it really wasn't opened up to the kind of like the mid-90s, I'm going to say like 90, end of 93, 94, it just started really kind of, everybody started catching the wave and kind of, getting their own little rhythm in their own little neighborhoods, and everything really kind of started sparking up like that, in Fort Worth. But Dallas, Fort Worth, and San Antonio was really kind of kicking the major dust with the gang violence.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're currently serving what? What's the bid you're serving? What's the sentence that you were?
I got a 50-year sentence up under the 1/4 law, and I've been locked up already 32 years, man. I got a fresh 2-year set off, and I'm just trying to make the best of that, man, and hope that my voice can reach somebody to help them change and to be better, so that they won't come down this road that I'm currently in, man.
Yeah, and you said 1/4 law. Break that down for the people that don't know exactly what that is.
Well, that's like the 1/4 law is like a quarter. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got 4 quarters in the dollar. One of them is 1/4. You know what I'm saying? So I'm up under that law. I supposed to have served 12 and a half years before I was eligible to see parole. And after the 12 and a half years, when I came up, I was in some trouble because I had beat a dude down here with some crutches. So I was in SIG, and that didn't look favorable in my, for me when I went up to see parole. So they gave me a 5-year set-off from there. And, I've been getting set off since 2004.
Okay, so you've been sentenced to 50 years. Take us through like the young, you growing up in Dallas. What were you doing at a young age?
Oh, man, like I say, I like to go back and to when I was, I remember everything real clearly, man, from 1988 when I was 12 years old. That's really when I really started, getting out there and understanding things, a little more clearly, from my young mind, from my young, mindset. And, that year right there was the first time that, I climaxed with a female, that first time I went to juvenile. And that was 1988 was the time that my homeboy named me Baby Cash as well. So, I think a lot of things come in a title, man, and it made me have to live up to something because, he gave me an identity and wanted to be able to, match that gangster. I was willing to do whatever, with whoever, you know what I'm saying, just to be a part of what was going on at that time. And, it was a lot of dope selling, jumping on people and doing all the kind of stuff that, young people did when they was in the streets, man, and lacked guidance and direction. And, from there, man, I went to a couple of little boys' homes. I went to CCD, U Village. And at 14, I found myself going to TYC, Texas Youth Commission, in Gainesville. And with that, me going to Gainesville, I had already, been a crip and all that, man. And I had already kind of started doing my own thing, before I got there. But when I got there, I just kind of opened the doors on cripping and started putting a lot of people down and, quoting a lot of people to come over, to be a part of, Trey 5-7 graveyard gangster crip. But at the time, we didn't have the graveyard part. So it was just gangster crip. And when I got out, I made the graveyard official, and it just went on to the end until I got locked back up at the age of 16. And they certified me, as an adult from juvenile, and I went to the county, went through them little motions, and they sentenced me to the 50 years. And I was still 16 when I came to prison, man.
Did your parents have any idea what you were doing in the streets at this time? Nah,
man, I had an uncle that I kind of pretty much followed behind, as far as the street life. And he always stayed in trouble, always passed down what he knew to me, you know what I'm saying? He gave me the understanding about the streets, he told me, how to handle myself when I'm in the streets with somebody or by myself, And they kind of, it came out the blue when people used to tell them the stuff that I did, but, my grandmama sat me down and, and I just, everything that I'd ever done, wrong in life, my grandmama, who's deceased right now, she know everything, you know what I'm saying, because, that was the one person that I could talk to openly about things and not be judged or looked down on, you know what I'm saying, and,
right.
I realize now, that wasn't the thing that, I needed, but, at that time, she just wanted me to survive, and whatever it took for me to survive, that's what she was with.
So, you currently served, 32 years?
Yeah, I got 32 years, man, like 28 days.
Okay, and take us through that situation that got you to this sentence.
Well,
what exactly did you do?
Well, I got 3 murders, 1 attempted capital murder, burglary of a motor vehicle, and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle. And it went back to like I say, gang banging, and at the time it wasn't many bloods, around like that, no neighborhoods of bloods anyway. So, people used to have on red and all this, and one of my homeboys ended up having some words with a dude, and just so happened he had on a Adidas warm up with some red stripes on it. So, when my homeboy drawed down on him, I drawed down on him, and we started shooting him, and that was the first one that one of the first murder cases I got. And then another time, my partner got into it with a dude, and because the dude stole his gun, and we chased him down, got the gun back, and shot him up. And
both of these guys died, right?
Yeah, both of these guys died. Okay. These are murder cases that I got right now. And one of the other murder case, an attempted capital murder, we robbed the dope house one night, and the dudes in the dope house were moving kind of fast. We was gonna rob them, but it all started happening so fast. It was like they knew we was finna rob them. So one of the dudes in there started acting like he was reaching for a gun, and my homeboy shot, and the other dude ran from the back, and I shot him, and I shot the other dude again, and we robbed him, took the money, and took the drugs, and a lady and the little girl, identified it. But, all them situations, man, I end up on the bad end because, the people that were with me, everybody, kind of wrote affidavits against me, some people that I knew, some people that I didn't know. So, just to stop myself from getting, time for each case, the burglary of a motor vehicle and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle, that really wasn't nothing. But to stop me from getting them stacked sentences, I copped out to the 50, to kind of save myself, man, because, I knew I was young, and my daddy was explaining things to me that it'd be better for me to take that than to take the other, stuff that they was going to come with if I didn't take it. So I ended up taking a 50-year sentence, man, and I still really didn't understand, concurrent at the time, because I was really still too young to really even just go to the dictionary and pick up concurrent to know the difference from concurrent and consecutive, man. So I got 4 50-year sentences and 2 10-year sentences. So for a couple of years, I still thought I had 220 years, yeah, man. So I was acting like, that's what I had, 220 years, and my attitude was all, messed all up, dealing with these people down here trying to fit in again in the prison culture so that, nobody would feel like they could take advantage of me like I was feeling to take advantage of a lot of other people, man. And I got down here, man, and, learned, the stuff that was going on in prison as far as fighting and, riots, going through the stuff that, you go through in prison, man, and I just had to find some room in my life to make the change for myself, which just came on lately, man, because I realized that, I'm just wasting time, and I can do a lot of things to help other people, man, especially the youth, and that's really what, I really wanted to reach out, man. I'm really not the type of person that like to be on Front Street. But if it's anything in the world that I can do to help somebody, stop them from coming to prison, I'm putting myself out there willing to do that, man.
That's what's up, man. So, man, three murders. Do you remember the first murder you ever got?
No, man. I was a little wild. I was kind of wild, man. So, a lot of the stuff that happened, when I was younger, man, was just some instant stuff. We might be at the store arguing and bam, I'm shooting. We might be somewhere, in some apartments and somebody got something bad to say, I'm shooting, man. I feel like, the pistol was the answer, man, So I can't really say, who was the first person I killed or if I even killed somebody before the murder that I killed, but
exactly.
I did a lot of wrong.
Yeah, man. So, do you remember the day of the sentencing for the 50 years?
Yeah, I got sentenced 1992, November the 17th. Yeah.
Okay, and did you know that was the amount of years they were going to give you at that very moment?
Well, I talked to my old man the night before, and he was saying the lawyer had called him and told me that would be the best move, and he said that my old man understood it, and he tried to explain it to me, but my mind really wasn't working right at the time to really understand what he was trying to convey to me, so I really still didn't understand it till later on. But when I got in there, my old man said one thing, and I'm looking at the paperwork, and it say 50, 50, 50, 50. I'm like, man, this ain't what you said. But while I was in court, when I was going to court, I seen this lady sitting off in the stands, man, and I didn't know who the lady was. She wasn't there for me or nothing. I was wondering why my mama and them and my girl went there at the time. You know what I'm saying? They told them at a certain time, but they came and brought me in earlier. Mm-hmm. And while I was sitting back there signing the paper, this lady came and stood in front of the table. And the lawyer said, "Yes, ma'am, can I help you?" She was looking at me, clutching her purse, you know what I'm saying, telling me what she gonna do to me, and she ought to do this and that to me, you know what I'm saying? And it took my mind a few minutes to kick in, you know what I'm saying? And once my mind kicked in, I grabbed a picture of water off the table, like, hey man, I hit you with this, you better get out of my face, you know what I'm saying? But it was a dude that had just walked in the courtroom in '92. Right, a little bit before this, and shot up some people in the courtroom, man. So I was aware of that, and that's what I'm thinking when my mind finally snapped that this lady had got this close up on me. So I knocked all the papers off the table. I was really kind of aggravated about the people that get this close up on me, acting like they can't stop her because she had to go through 2 polices to get all the way back there where she was at. So I went through them little emotions. They calmed me down, talked to me, put the papers back on the table. I finished signing them, man, and the judge, he did my little old statement of fact thing, whatever they do right there, asked me some questions, asked me was I in sound mind and all this here, man. And the last thing he said to me before I walked out of it was good luck, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was that cloud that they, throw over your head when you get ready to walk out the courtroom, Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh man, so how did your mom react? Do you remember like any details of like your family and the last time you were ever, able to physically see them?
Yeah, at that time right there, like I say, it was on the 17th. So whatever day that was, I think, at the time, I had an older female that I was messing with, but I had got married at this time, and she was coming to see me. I don't think I can't remember seeing my mom and them no more while I was in the county because I got my time like that Monday or that Tuesday, and then that next Monday morning, I was on the chain coming to prison, man. So yeah, I didn't get to see them no more until I got to prison. And, my girl ended up, coming at the end of the court thing, and she was like, man, don't let them take you away from me. Don't let them take you away. I'm like, man, I'll be back, man. I'll be back. I'm trying to stay hard in front of her, but, I was crushed inside because I knew that it was something that, I wasn't guaranteed to come back from, man.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Do you remember the first day in prison?
Yeah, man. I prided myself on having long hair, man, so I got my little plaits in my head, and I was walking down the hallway getting ready to go. Once they take you through diagnosis, they cut all your hair off. So I was kind of aggravated about that, and yeah, I liked my little old plaits, man, and I walked down the hallway getting ready to go, to the chow hall. That's where, where we eat at. And I see this big old dude on the side of the wall, he kind of mugging me, man, but he looked like a giant, and You know, I see him mugging me, man, but my mind in a whole other state. They just cut my plaits off, and I'm really in prison, man. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't know what to think. I'm still not seeing the reality of this, man. You know, my mind couldn't grasp what I was going through, man. My mind wasn't understanding. It wasn't computing how serious my situation was, man. You know what I'm saying? I still didn't understand that. So I go on in the chow hall. I see the dude that I knew from the street, so I catch up with him. I said, say, man, you see that big old nigga standing out there on the wall? He like, nah, I ain't seeing. So I looked to the back of the line. I said, that big old nigga right there. You know what I'm saying? So he like, yeah, that's what's the name, man. Yeah, I know that nigga. I did time with him before. So I'm like, oh, all right, you know, what's up with that nigga? You know what I'm saying? Nigga keep looking at me like that. You know what I'm saying? So he like, nah, that nigga cool, nigga. So I get out there, you know, I finished eating my little old food, man. I went back out there my home, but I went did what he was doing. I went on back out there to go where they told me to go, and the dude stopped me. He said, say, man, you don't remember me, little old nigga? I'm like, nah, nigga, I don't remember you, nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm really trying to get out of arm reach of this nigga because he was huge, man. He said, yeah, I'm that same dude you hit in the head and took that red bandana off my neck that time. Man, you don't remember that? I said, nah, I don't remember that, man. You know what I'm saying? He said, yeah, man, how much time they give you? I said, 220 years, man. He said, yeah, man. He said, whatever you do, man, stay down, man. And I walked on off. I'm like, man, I'm thinking in my mind it could have been just that easy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. But, you know, I didn't have that kind of fear in my heart, man. It just was something new to me. And I was, you know, I feel like, you know, this was gonna be it for me, man, and I was ready to explode. So, you know, it wasn't. I didn't understand fear at that time, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
32 years. What's some of the craziest things you've experienced in prison?
Oh man, I experienced so many crazy things, man. I'm gonna just tell you about some scary moments that, you know, that really had me scared, man. I had got caught in a riot. It didn't have nothing to do with me, but we was in the shower on this unit, man, and there was some Mexicans going against each other, and one of the Mexicans that knew me, he told me, say, man, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? It's finna go down. And when he was saying that, he broke and ran from me real quick, and I was going out the door, but I had my chain and my shoes over there. So when I was getting ready to go out the door, I remember I left my shoes with my chain there. When I turned back around, and I seen him stab this dude, man. And say, man, I could have swore the knife came out that fool back, man. And that shit was so scary because I see all these Mexicans in here stabbing each other, man. But shit, I got to get my chain and my shoes, man. You hear me? So I ran and grabbed my chain and shoes. And when I turned around, it was a Mexican standing right there with a butcher knife. You know what I'm saying? And I could see the killer in his face when we turned face to face with each other. And they kind of, you know, paused me and paused him for a minute. He went on. You know what I'm saying? Man, I hurried up and got up out of there, man. But yeah, that was a real scary moment for me because when I turned around, he was already right there, man. And if he wanted to give me, it wasn't nothing I could do. I couldn't really defend myself. It wasn't nothing I really could do because he had to drop on me. If we was enemies, you know what I'm saying? And then another time, man, the officers, some dudes jumped on the officers, man. So they was, pulling everybody out, beating up people and all this, man. And they pulled me out. But they told me to get on my knees first and put my hands behind my back. So, I put my hand behind my back. They handcuffed me. So one officer on each arm picked me up. Say, man, my knees were shaking so bad. I told the officer, the one that wasn't holding me so tight, I said, say, sir, I ain't trying to resist, man, but I'm just scared, man. He said, it's all right, man. Ain't nothing going to happen to you. We know who we want. Say, man, I'm talking about, I didn't stop shaking till I got back in the cell, man. I'm talking about. So it can get dangerous down here, man. People lose their life. A lot of my friends have lost their life. I done seen a lot of people lose their life down here, man. So prison ain't, all as hype as it used to be, but it's still dangerous, man.
What were some of the biggest challenges you had to deal with in prison?
Man, I'm going to say it wasn't a physical thing because, I don't mind fighting. I don't mind doing what it takes to win, man. I'm going to say it's the mental thing. And finding myself and making that change was the hardest thing, man, because it took me a while to understand that I was my own cause and effect, man. You know what I'm saying? And the things that happened to me, was all up to me, man. And wrapping my mental around what I needed to do and how I needed to do it was the biggest challenge to me, you know what I'm saying? Because I realized, what you hold back from life gonna hold back from you, man. You know what I'm saying? And instead of looking for all the things to be offended by, I had to start looking for all the things that was gonna make me happy, man. And once I incorporate that into myself and start living that, that helped me a whole bunch. I realized how much was lifted off of my shoulders, man. And that and dealing with my father and my grandmother dying, man, you know what I'm saying? Because I really, lost some best friends in them, you know what I'm saying? But that's been my hardest challenge in prison, man, being able to change my thinking and, and to just rehabilitate myself, man, because, once you do things so long, it become a part of you. So I had to go back in the lab, man, and break myself all the way back down, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that I had, that out of my system. A lion not going to change because you put in with some monkeys or some giraffes, man. A lion going to be a lion, you know what I'm saying, but he could be domesticated, man. So I had to domesticate myself and push that old out, man, and try to live, in a way that was going to be pleasing to, anybody that came across my path, man, you know what I'm saying? So I had to lose some of my temper. I had to lose some of my old ways, a lot of my old ways, majority of them, and, adapt to another way of life, man, and that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah. Do you often reflect, on, your past or do you ever have any regrets? Like, what do you think about when you just sit back and how you can improve and the things that you've done? Like, if you could talk to your old self, what would you tell your old self?
And I sit my old self down and I tell my old self, say, man, running the street, gang banging, selling dope, you know what I'm saying? It's not going to meet your needs over time. The things that you're doing, wasting your time, running the streets, worrying your parents, you know what I'm saying, it's not going to meet your needs over time. Had somebody told me at that time that it was a possibility, man, that I could have done 30-some years, I might not have believed them, but I would have listened to them because I paid attention, you know what I'm saying? And I sit myself down and tell myself, hey, man, it's a possibility that you can be gone for the rest of your life doing the stuff that you're doing, man, and you need to take a different approach and stick to something that's going to be positive and something that's going to benefit you over time, man, and not bring shame to you and your family from doing something that, that don't make no sense at all, man, because the stuff that I did didn't make no sense, and I can't even understand what was on my mind to do a lot of the things that I done, man. It ain't nowhere in the world you can put no dope sack in my hand right now. It ain't nowhere in the world I'll run off in the middle of the streets, in the middle of the store or the middle of the park and shoot at nobody, man. It ain't nowhere in the world I'll do none of that right now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to figure out what was on my mind to make me do some of the things that I done, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was triggering me, man? What, was holding me back and blocking me from reaching my full potential by doing that, that madness, man. You know what I'm saying? So, nah, I would never do none of that again, man. But yeah, I reflect all the time, man.
Mm. Now, Charleston said that you could possibly be out in 2 years.
Yeah.
He's working on different laws and trying to get you out. And are you looking forward to that? How promising is the 2 years?
Man, 2 years is promising. I done took a lot of schooling, and I took a lot of. I got a lot of schooling. I'm in college right now, but man, it's gonna happen, man. You know, they gave me a 2-year set off, which make me have 34 years when I come back up. You know, it was a few things that they mentioned for setting me off. One of them was, you know, the gang activities and all that stuff. So I'm, you know, trying to get all that right. You know what I'm saying? To let them know that, you know, I'm not with the gang stuff, man, and I'm trying to live a better life and do things the right way. You know, I got to stop catching cases, and you know, I've been chilling for the last 3-4 years, so I ain't been in too much. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like I used to be in. You know, but yeah, man, it's a possibility, a great possibility, more than not. You know what I'm saying? That I'll be there in the next time I come up for parole, man.
Yeah. I mean, are you anxious? You know, society is way different now, bro. I mean,
yeah,
it's crazy. Like, everything is different. Everything is digital now, you know, cell phones. And are you anticipating the change and to learn, you know, it's like a new life. It's like you starting over again.
Yeah, I anticipate that, man. I look so forward to it, man, because, you know, it's life, man. You know, most of my troubles I done been just trying to keep up with life and do the things that's gonna keep me grounded. But yeah, man, I look forward to that. I look forward to the simple things, man, like walking on carpet or having me a pet, man, or just being able to go in the kitchen and cook what I want to cook, man. You know what I'm saying? To take a shower with some hot water and bubble baths and good smelling soap, to change clothes, man. You know, you start to miss all the small things, man, when you're away like this, and man. You know, I want to come home so bad, man. You know, that's all that's been on my mind. So every day, you know what I'm saying, for 11,719 days, man, that's all I've ever thought about was coming home, man. You know,
11,000 days.
Yeah, man. I done did 8 president terms, man. You know, when I left, I think George H.W. Bush was the president, man, the daddy. You know, I done did 8 president terms in this camp, man. But yeah, man, I look forward to all of that, man. You know, mostly I want to be able to help the kids, man.
Yeah. What is it, like certain movies that, because you went in '92, is it certain like, do you get to keep up with certain things like movies and music and, you know, or are you?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Or are you stuck? Like, I mean, of course, you get like a tablet and you get to see certain things, but do they let y'all like watch movies and keep up with like what's going on outside?
Yeah, man. They with the new system they came in with the tablet. You know, they got the little thing lined up on there with all the, you know, movies on there, different kind of movies. You know, we got some up-to-date movies on here, man. They got little TV programs. Like, I've been stuck on this love and hip-hop stuff, man. So I've been checking that out, man. You know what I'm saying? Just checking out old Jocelyn and your boy Stevie J on there. And, you know, so we get to keep up, man, with a lot of stuff because they didn't incorporate a new system that didn't help a lot. Took a lot of bite out of some things, but it created, you know, some chaos for other things, man. But for the most part, you know, the programs they got, we got podcasts on here, man. We got, we got all kind of schooling on here. You can learn different languages on here if you just, you know, execute what they gave you and use it properly, man. You can look for jobs on here. You can go to church on the tablet. You know what I'm saying? So they give you a atmosphere to be whatever you want to be. It's just up to you to be it. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, you know, a lot of this stuff is free. The TV and the music and stuff, you got to pay for that. But as far as everything else, the podcasts and the educational programs that they have on here, you know, those are free. And if you don't execute it, man, you know, you cheating yourself.
Yeah, I was with OG Sane in Charleston the other day. And OG Sane was a real close friend of yours, right?
Yes, sir.
And y'all grew up together?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so how is it you know, keeping your friendships, and, you know, it's been 32 years, you know, life keeps going. People go through things. So like, how do you keep up with, you know, your friends and everything? Like, how's everything with that going? Family, friends, you know, sometimes people, you know, like I said, real life happens. People sometimes they forget or they're busy with things. So how do you keep your relationships tight with people?
Man, the way that I try to stay relevant, man, I continuously reach out to people, man. You know, I never stop reaching for the world. I never stop reaching for, you know, people that, you know, I associated myself with that meant me good. You know what I'm saying? Even some of those that meant me bad, you know, just to go back and look at their situations and to be able to tell them who I am right now today has been a real blessing to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? Most of my clique that I ran with on the daily, most of them dead, man. I'm talking about majority, all of them are dead, except for maybe one of two, maybe three of us, man. You know what I'm saying? So my whole little clique of partners, man, all of them dead, you know what I'm saying? And the other two, you know what I'm saying, got life in prison, man. So to be able to just be able to reach out and keep myself relevant, you know, it's been hard, but at the same time, man, you know, it just gives you something to strive for, to look forward to, not for the negative part, because when you grow up, you don't want that no more. You know, just like I was telling Sane, you know, today, everything in life has to be renewed and refreshed, man. You know, friendships have to be renewed, you know what I'm saying? Relationships have to be renewed. You got to implement something different in everything that you do in life, because some of the same stuff that you used to like 2 years ago, you might not like it no more. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you got to have something to replace that, man. You know, but the biggest thing that, you know, that helped me through everything has been God, man, because I wouldn't have been able to do none of this, you know what I'm saying, without him, man. Without him shining on me and forgiving me, man, and being able to give me, you know, good health, you know, being able to stay upstanding and keep myself, you know, mentally wrapped during this time has been the biggest blessing that I could ever have in life, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I started writing books, man, and, you know, I got a lot of urban novels out, but the books that I pride the most are my children books and my gang prevention books and parental guide books for the kids and their parents, because I poured myself into those books. You know, it's been kind of hard having people help me do a lot of things, but, you know, I managed, man, you know what I'm saying? So that gives me something to strive for when I have something on my mind that I want to accomplish, because I know the only way I'm going to fulfill, you know what I'm saying, my desire to keep living and to feel like I'm whole is to keep hope, keep pushing, man, and keep the faith, man, you know what I'm saying? And without that, you know what I'm saying, I see a lot of dudes lose themselves, you know, in these walls, man.
Right. Do you have kids?
Yeah, I got a son and a daughter, and I got some step kids that I hold dear to me, man. But my son, my daughter, and my step kids, all of them doing real good, man. I'm talking about they accomplished, and all of them doing great, man. I got grandkids, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And wait, so you had kids while you were in prison?
No, I had when I left, my daughter was 1, and my baby mama was 3 months pregnant with my son. So yeah, he finna be 32.
Wow. So you were, cause how old? You were 16 when you went in, right?
Yeah, I was 16.
Okay, so you had a kid early.
Yeah, real early, man. Real early.
Man, I just know that, you know, it just is painful to not be physically with them, you know?
Yeah.
Like
it
32
is,
years, you missed almost, you know, a quarter of his life for real, you know?
Yeah, I missed a lot of it, man. But, you know, just being here, man, and you know, having my kids, I deal with my wife, I deal with her kids first. And I didn't even know what, you know, being a father or daddy was about, man. You know, I just, you know, knew that I had to make sure that these kids, you know, was treated right and heard the right thing from me, man. Even when I wasn't doing the right thing, I had the right thing to say to them, because I didn't ever want nobody to come down this road or be in the trouble that I was in or have to face, you know what I'm saying, the life that I faced. And as they grew up, because I was, you know, in their life more than my kids at that time. You know, my daughter was born, her mama, you know, was over there, and my son was just being born, so, you know, his mama, you know, kept him away for a minute, not long, not keeping away to be spiteful, but just keeping away because her and my wife didn't have a, you know, a understanding, you know what I'm saying? Man, I stayed a relevant figure in their life, man, and just gave them the things that I wish, you know, a lot of things that my father gave me, but on the flip side, you know what I'm saying, because my old man was like, hey, boy, you know, you going to do this here, make sure you know, you check yourself, you do this here, because I think he understood that no matter what, you know, I was going to be in the streets, man, and he just gave it to me from that perspective, you know what I'm saying? He gave it to me from the perspective of, hey, man, you know, make sure you check it twice, you know, make sure you do this here, man, don't let nobody know everything you got going, you know, he gave it to me on how to get away, you know, and how to stay, you know, safe while I was doing what I was doing, but I never implemented none of that kind of stuff to them kids because I didn't even want to open their mind up to nothing bad in life, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, once you plant that seed, it's like it's gonna keep on growing until something, you know, start happening, man. And I didn't want to do that with them. And my stepkids, they went on to graduate college. My kids went on to go to college and do things. My son, the head man of a company, the lead man of a company, and my daughter, a manager of another company. You know what I'm saying? So they turn out to be some wonderful kids, man. And I got, you know, grandkids, and you know, so I look forward to being with them, you know, soon, man.
Right, man. What do you have to tell? Because there's a lot of 16-year-old people who were thinking the same way when you were 16. For those people that are listening, like, what do you have to tell them kids, man, that feel like they gotta be gangster or they gotta be street? That's the only way out. They're not getting the love elsewhere, so they turn to the streets for love. What do you have to tell them youngsters that are listening right now?
Hey, man, I just want to tell y'all, man, you know, I live that life, you know. Sometimes y'all think people, you know, saying things because, you know, they trying to run your life. But a lot of time they trying to guide your life, man, because if you don't have no direction, you know, you going to crash, man. You know, doing wrong in the streets, you know, it's going to hurt you in the long run. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would love to be out there to be able to enjoy the fresh air, you know, not be told, you know, when to do something and how I need to do it. You know what I'm saying? I love, you know, enjoying my family, and those that's out there being able to be around their families, they need to take the time to enjoy that and appreciate the things that their family take them through, man, because it's hard for people these days to make a living, to put a roof over your head, to buy you the shoes and the clothes that you want. You know what I'm saying? And I think they need to be a little more appreciative of that. You know, doing wrong ain't going to help you over time, man. And, you know, and trying to be gangster in the streets, man, in the end, you're going to be by yourself, man. You know, the people that I have in my life from way back then are the people that I never would imagine still being here to this day. You know what I'm saying? All the people that I liked, and all the people that I rode with, and got out there with and went did my dirt with, ain't none of them dudes around, you know what I'm saying? They dead. You know what I'm saying? The fruit that we came across along the way, you know what I'm saying? I ain't even, you know, I don't even hear from them niggas. Them niggas died.